Hey, today we're going to talk all about how I lost 25 pounds for my wedding. You may have already seen my 25-pound weight loss video. So that was kind of outlining some of the things that I did to lose weight, but this is specifically for the fellow bride. I'm getting married in November of this year, and I found there's a lot of girls that are in my shoes who also want to look their very best on their big day. So I'm going to share a few things of specifically what I did to kind of get there. And yeah, hopefully it helps. So the very first thing you should know when you're working out for your wedding is you want to come up with your goal. So for me, it was weight loss, and I had about 25 pounds to lose, and I knew I wanted to lose 1 pound per week. So if you reverse engineer that and you know that you need to lose 25 pounds, that means 25 weeks. So approximately 6 months, which is the exact time frame that it took me to lose weight. And that was taking into account a 500 calorie deficit per day, which yields a 1 pound weight loss. So if that's similar to you, that's what you'll be aiming for. But I have other brides who are, wanting to gain muscle, gain strength, just purely body recomp, stay the same weight, but just gain a little bit more muscle, lose a little bit of fat. So that is totally fine too. And so when you know what your goal is, you can kind of reverse engineer and see how much time you need to give yourself to really achieve the results that you want. Something that I really want to emphasize is that plateaus are totally normal, especially if you're on a weight loss journey. It's completely normal for the scale to not budge 1 week, 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks. And I personally had this happen where I stayed on point. I kept my diet, I kept my workouts consistent, and for 3 solid weeks the scale did not budge. It was just stuck. And then after, on the 3rd week, it would drop 3 pounds. So that's still a 1 pound per week drop. It just didn't happen linearly. It just stopped and then went down. So that's something to really keep in mind, especially if you're someone who's never been on any kind of fitness journey before. It's very normal to hit plateaus, and you'll probably hit more than one if it's a long-term journey, but that doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong, and it's no reason to get discouraged. So really keep that in mind, that you want to keep your eyes on the big picture and not worry about the minutia of what's happening week to week, because if you're staying on track with your diet and you're staying on track with your training, guaranteed the results are happening. They just might be reflecting on the scale right away. So this is something really, really important. Don't let a stuck scale deter you from staying on track. That is something so common that I see with clients is, they don't see the scale budge for 2 weeks and they think, oh, what I'm doing isn't working. I might as well just forget about it. I'm going to have a cheat week, binge out because clearly my efforts aren't paying off. So, fuck it, whatever. That is the worst thing you can do. So do not stray off course if you're feeling like you're at a plateau. That is the time to grind it out, stay focused, and you will see that plateau break eventually. So that's number 1. Number 2 is just being patient. So again, you have to be patient to see the plateau break. You have to take time to give your results the time to actually happen. Rome was not built in a day, and changing your body takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, and it's not going to happen super fast. But the important thing is if you stay consistent, you will get there. So just be patient. So another really key thing to do is start taking electrolytes. More likely than not, you're probably deficient in them, especially in magnesium. Most people are deficient in magnesium. And magnesium is responsible for a lot of key functions in the body, especially, and it works with electrolytes. So if you're deficient in electrolytes, your body will use your magnesium stores to kind of help hydrate you, therefore depleting your magnesium stores. And so caffeine, sweating, junk food, all these things deplete your magnesium and can also deplete your electrolytes. It's very important to reuptake both of those. It's going to help your energy. Throughout workouts, you're just going to feel like you actually have energy to do what you need to do, and you won't feel that muscle weakness that can come with dehydration. You're going to have an easier time managing your stress because your nervous system will feel like it has all the things that it needs and that it's not running on empty. you're going to be optimizing your digestion because magnesium and salt help to create bile in the stomach. So it helps you assimilate and take in all the nutrients that you're eating with your healthy diet. And the last thing is it's going to give you nice radiant skin and hair. And I can tell you, I've never had a problem with drinking water. I've always drank a shit ton of water, but I wasn't always having enough salt and enough electrolytes. But when I started taking that, I used to suffer from the worst, most dry skin. I don't know if you can see, it's the end of a long day, but my skin is not dry. Usually it would be flaking, especially here. No more. My skin is like really good and plump and just like hydrated. I don't know how else to say it. You're like hydrated from the inside. So I've noticed a huge improvement in my skin health, especially my face skin. And then my hair has also just gotten so much better. So all around, I highly recommend that you take electrolytes, even if you're not a bride, but especially if you're a bride, you want to be dewy, glowy, stunning on your day. So why not just take electrolytes? You'll thank me later. Next, this should go without saying, but sometimes common sense isn't common. So what you really need to do is focus on your nutrition, okay? No matter what your goal is, if it's weight loss, weight gain, or simply maintenance, nutrition matters, like more than you think. Just in terms of, even if you're not changing your calories, let's say you're in a maintenance body recomp phase, you do need enough protein, and most people do not get enough protein. So even just knowing that is enough reason to log your food accurately using an app and a food scale, even just for the short term to see where you're at and then playing with those numbers, but primarily focusing on protein. And this again goes for if you're wanting to gain weight, lose weight, or simply maintain. You want to focus on protein. No matter which category you fall in, it's going to help you either way. Next, you want to get enough sleep, especially if you are on a weight loss journey, because fat loss, honestly, most of it happens in your sleep. So you need to recover properly. You know, if you're hitting hard workouts, your muscles are breaking down. You need time in between to recover, heal the muscles, grow the muscles. So yeah, I mean, if you're killing it in the gym and then you're not resting enough, you're going to feel really shitty really fast, and that's going to cause you to burn out, and then it's going to cause you to miss workouts. So over time, it's so important to prioritize sleep, rest, and recovery. And magnesium and electrolytes will help with that. So you should notice also a nice decrease in muscle soreness with that. And if you're eating enough protein, you'll be golden. Next, you want to manage your stress. So if you're getting enough sleep, that's going to help. If you're having your electrolytes, that's going to help. If you're eating enough protein, that's going to help balance your blood sugar, reducing stress. But the other thing is you do need to be able to set proper boundaries. And this was something that I really struggled with. And that was a big part of why I gained weight in the first place before, and why I had to lose weight now, was because I just was such a yes girl, and I would just bend over backwards for anyone. Oh, clients want to train on a Saturday? Sure, I can take you. No, you need to be steadfast in your boundaries. You need to have time carved out weekly for self-care and working out and anything else that fills your cup. Okay, so if you're somebody who meal plans, you need to set your time 3 hours on a Sunday to meal plan your week. If you know that you need 5 workouts in the week, you need to set aside 5 hours throughout the week and put it in your calendar so that it's booked and there and it's not going anywhere. As soon as you start to get flexible on these kind of things, that's when things start to go off track, and then you start to feel like you're, I don't know how to say it, but it's like you're not filling your own cup, and over time it starts to feel really bad. So the best you can do is have strong boundaries, and that's going to reduce your stress and reduce that feeling of like you have too much on your plate, you're biting off more than you can chew, you're spread too thinly, or burning the candle at both ends, however you want to say it. That was a big thunder. But yeah, so try to reduce your stress, A, through boundaries, B, through practicing self-care. And so that can be whatever self-care looks like for you. It could be reading a book, taking baths with doing your skincare routine, meditation, hanging out with a friend, spending time in nature. There's 1,000,001 ways that self-care can look like, as long as you find 1 or 2 ways that work for you and you try and practice those as often as possible. That's just going to put your body in a nice relaxed state, and it's just going to facilitate muscle recovery, fat loss, improve your mood, and keep everything happy, and make sure, and that's going to help ensure that you enjoy your fitness journey. So especially with weight loss, and especially if it's like more than a couple pounds, you're doing this for the long haul. You need to enjoy this, because you're not doing it just for a couple of weeks, you're doing it for months. Like I did it for 6 months. I had to log my food every single day, work out every single day, make sure I did my cardio 10,000 steps. It's not easy. And if you hate your life while you're doing it, that's going to make it so much more likely that you're going to quit. So make sure that you enjoy the thing that you're doing, because yes, it's the means to your end, but at the same time, you need to be able to maintain your results, whatever they are, once you reach your goal, right? And so if you hated the process, the likelihood of you actually maintaining those results after you've hit the goal are very, very low. So make sure that you make the process enjoyable for yourself, and that's going to ensure that you can keep it sustainable forever. Next is, what kind of workouts should I do as a bride? I mean, obviously we want something well-rounded that's targeting the entire body, but there are specific target areas that as a bride, most of us are going to want to target, just because that's the areas that are kind of revealed in our dresses. So one thing you really want to do is shoulders and upper back. So even if you don't have a backless dress, but you have, like, let's say a thin strap, shoulders are going to be your delts. So kind of this muscle here. It just looks so nice when it's like a little bit toned and like strong, and it just helps to keep your posture open. Upper back is going to be obviously like the muscles in between your traps. So if you're standing tall and you squeeze back your shoulder blades together, like we're talking about these little muscles up here. I mean, who doesn't want to have a nice toned back when they're walking down the aisle? Am I right? So for example, you're going to want to do rows, shoulder presses, lateral raises, face pulls, those kind of movements to work those specific muscles. Next, we're going to do arms. Obviously, we're talking biceps, triceps. Again, that's just going to look great. Unless your dress has sleeves, your arms are probably going to be exposed. So you might as well have them, pop it and looking nice when you're in your dress. So things you can do, bicep curls, tricep dips, push-ups, things like that to kind of help sculpt the arms. Next, you may not think of this, but your core does really matter in your wedding dress, because what it's going to do is support your organs and your spine as you're walking. So if you have a weaker core, it's going to be really hard to actually have good posture down the aisle. And Lord knows if you've ever had a candid photo taken of you when you weren't expecting it and your posture looked something like this, you don't look good. You want to have good posture. So shoulders back straight, everything kind of open, and arms just at your sides. And this is actually really difficult to do if you don't have a strong core to actually support this posture, especially if you're wearing heels, especially if you're holding a heavy bouquet, especially if you have a heavy dress on. These are things that you may not think about, but they really do matter, and it is going to be hard on your core. So you might as well train your core and make sure that everything's nice and strong and secure so you can have good posture down the aisle. Next, we're talking legs and glutes. Obviously, well, it's not obvious because you might have, like, let's say a princess dress where your legs and glutes may not be exposed, and so it doesn't matter. But most of us want a nice ass and a nice legs, quads, hammies, things developed and tight, right? So if you have a dress that's tighter around your bum, if you have a little bit of a shelf, that's going to look amazing. So why wouldn't you just do that too, right? So yeah, you can do things like leg press, squats, lunges, deadlifts, calf raises. Those are going to be helpful if you're wearing heels. You want nice strong calves so that you're not walking around like Bambi. Yeah, and then glutes obviously are going to be number one hip thrusts. So if you're doing heavy hip thrusts, you're going to build your glutes, no problem. So if that all sounds dandy, but you're thinking, okay, well, I understand the premise, but I'm still not 100% sure of, how to put this all together in a way that kind of benefits me personally. There's two options. You can either hire a personal trainer. This is going to be so helpful, especially if you're a beginner, because your trainer is going to know what exercises are going to benefit you and your body and your personal ability. So everybody has different postural imbalances, different muscle imbalances, and really only a trained professional can tell you exactly what it is and how to fix it. So that's going to be number one, like already so helpful. But number two, especially if you tell them like, hey, I really want my arms to be toned, I want my upper back defined, I want to have good posture for my wedding. These are all things that your trainer is going to take into account when designing your program, and they're going to make sure that it's super duper tailored to use, which is amazing. And it's going to, fast track your results so you're not wasting time haphazardly doing different exercises that you're like, I don't know, am I doing this right? Is this going to benefit me? Is this actually targeting the muscle that I'm intending to? So a trainer will take out all that guesswork. All you have to do is show up and they will have it ready to go. They'll count your reps for you. All you need to do is execute and you don't have to think, which is amazing. I love having a trainer. I've hired a trainer many times myself, even though I'm a trainer. I just love shutting my brain off and just doing what I'm told without having the need to think. It just is like one load off my plate, especially as a bride. You're wedding planning, you're probably stressed about other shit. You don't need one more thing to worry about, okay? So word of advice, if you can afford it, hire a trainer, even just for like 1 or 2 sessions. It's like the value, the return on investment is amazing. But if that's not within your budget, I also did come up with a bridal bootcamp program. So I actually compiled all of the exercises that I personally did to take my physique from this to this within 6 months and lost 25 pounds. So I specifically had all these muscle groups that I mentioned prior that I knew I really wanted to tone and have looking good for my wedding. And I did this program myself in order to get these results. I created it for myself, but I'm now sharing it with the world because I know there's other brides out there who want similar results. So I have that on sale on my website. So if you want to get a bridal bootcamp program, you don't need to hire a trainer. It's a full program that all the reps and sets are outlined there for you. All the exercises are already plugged in. There's even a video demonstration for every single exercise so you know how to do the form properly. And then it even comes with a macro calculator to help you, gauge your food properly and align your nutrition with your goals. And we also have a Facebook accountability group, and myself and all the other girls are in there. So if you have any questions, you can post in there, or even if you want to post your progress or any other wedding related topics, we're in that girls group on Facebook. So yeah, if that's of interest to you, that's there too, but you don't need to purchase anything. Obviously, this is just me sharing what I did, what worked for me. I know it can work for you too. It's under $50, so really it's worth it in my opinion, but make your own choice. So anyways, these are the things that I did to transform my body, and I really hope that this can help even just one person make a positive change, whatever your goal might be for your workout, for your wedding. I just want you to feel beautiful and radiant and like a goddess, and like I literally feel like that because of my transformation, and I want you to feel like that too. So hope this video helped. Bye.